Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back. What's happening? So for today's video, as you can see by the title, this is a story that I was debating whether or not to tell this story. I put it up on my Instagram story of seeing if people think that if it's appropriate to say it, or people who think that it's not appropriate. A lot of people were messaging me saying that you should say it just to warn people in the future, just to be more careful and just to kind of keep your eyes opened of things that can happen and has happened to me. So while I'm going to be doing it, I actually kind of got this idea of to do my makeup through Kaylee. If you don't know who Kaylee is, she's an Irish makeup artist, and then she does Freaky Fridays on her YouTube channel, and she talks about like conspiracy stories and stuff, and I find it very enjoyable to listen to her stories and watch her do makeup at the same time, so it's not just someone constantly just talking to the camera. So it's kind of following along and watching makeup, so it's a bit entertaining at the same time. So yeah, let's get cracking on the story. Okay, so I'm going to start off by setting the mood, and if no one knows who I am, and just explaining exactly who I am first, and then just setting up the scenes before we get into the very annoying details. So, if none of you know who I am an Irish makeup artist. I am a freelance makeup artist, and I go to Ibiza every summer. So I've been going to Ibiza every summer to work as a freelance makeup artist, so a mobile makeup artist. So basically what that means is I work all around the island. I go and do people's makeup for whatever they are going to, whether it's a wedding, whether to go to a beach club. Basically, you basically hire me in and I come to your doorstep and I do your makeup. So yeah, that is the gist of you getting to know me. So when this story happened, it was on my second season, so it was about a year and a half ago, a little over a year and a half, so nearly almost on to 2 years. So how you can book in with myself is you book through Instagram, and I have my own page where you can message me privately, and basically that's how you book in for an appointment with myself. Sorry, my hands are very pale. I'm just ignoring that. Okay. Like any other day, I had this this person message me asking could she book in herself and 3 of her other friends in for makeup. And I just thought of it as any other appointment. I asked her normal questions. I went through the whole booking system with herself. We're asking basically where she was staying, what time she needed to be ready for, blah 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 blah. You know the gist of booking in a makeup appointment. That was all fine, and she agreed to the booking fees, deposit, and basically where she was staying, her and her group of friends, was on the other side of the island, so that would have cost them travel fee. And they all agreed to that, and they all said yeah, that is no problem at all, and they all agreed that yes, they're going to pay for that and they're going to be ready for this time. And yeah, just an average booking basically, like nothing weird about the situation. It was just all very very normal. And then the girl actually added me into a group chat. So there was actually a group chat with me and it was 4 of them, me and the other 4 girls. So we're all in the group chat, and the reason for making the group chat was because not all of them are staying in the same room, so they wanted to have the group chat, so then they could all meet up to get their makeup done when it needed to be done, so no one's like hanging around in the room waiting to get their makeup done. Because as you all probably know, it takes a while to do someone's makeup. It depends obviously. In Ibiza it's very iffy because back in Ireland, most people always go for very glam looks, like they go for very full coverage with their makeup, and which can take maybe an hour to do, like 45 minutes to an hour to do. But then sometimes when I meet the people probably want to go a little bit more natural, so that could take me only maybe like 30 minutes to do. So it just depends. So we made the group chat just so people can come in, right? So the girls were saying to me that they wanted like full glam, and they were kind of showing me the gist of what they wanted, which was going to take, let's just say it was very full glam. It wasn't, it was just very like very full cover, so I knew that I was going to have to give them a little bit extra time. So as you could probably imagine, it was going to take a while to do their makeup. So yeah, all the girls were explaining what they wanted done. They were all very lovely girls, which I thought, I was like, oh, these all seem really nice. And if you are a makeup artist or you work with the public, you know that it's just, it makes your life so much more easier when you have people who are nice people going to these jobs. So it's nice to kind of have like a slight little bit of like a, let's say a professional relationship, as in the girls are being very nice to me and saying that, oh, we can't wait to get our makeup done, blah. All that was like really good, and I was like, oh, this is going to be very nice, because I have been to appointments where people don't really like speak to you, and it just makes your job just a little bit more like not enjoyable, if you know what I mean. Like as you can probably tell, I am a very like talkative person. I enjoy speaking to people, making people's experience getting their makeup done off me not just about the makeup. I want people leaving with saying, oh, she was actually a lovely girl and I really enjoyed getting my makeup done. That's just how I like to portray myself when I'm doing people's makeup, because I find that if I was stuck up and I was snobby, you wouldn't want to come back and get your makeup done again. Like, it's like if you're getting your hair, your nails done, and then the whatever person wasn't speaking to you, and she just kind of had like an attitude, or you know, people who like bitch about a lot of people all the time, and like it's just not an enjoyable experience. So yeah, going back to the gist of the story. So yeah, basically I was getting a lift off a friend of mine who was bringing me out for actually quite cheap. So I don't like to, because basically where the girls lived, if you got a normal taxi out there, it would cost you, God, probably about like 40 euro or something to get out to where they were living. But my friend offered to do it for me for it was just only 20 euro, which was 20 euro there and then 20 euro back, which is very reasonable, because I saved the girls a good bit of money. I just kept explaining to them that this money isn't mine. Like, I'm not charging you this much travel fee due to, it's just I live so far away from where we are. And the girls all agreed to it, and they were all really lovely about it. So yeah, so basically my friends gave me a lift out, my roommate actually at the time gave me a lift out to the girls' hotel. So when I got to the room, this is when the story just goes worse and worse and worse. So I feel like I'm a lot more confident now, as in I don't really take a lot of shit anymore. But let's just say back then I was a bit of a walkover, which I actually don't mind. I don't mind saying the story, and I don't mind I don't mind that it happened to me, because it's kind of made me the makeup artist and person that I am today because of this. Because if I wasn't like this, I probably still would be a bit of a pushover. So basically I did the first girl's makeup. This is the girl that who originally first booked in me, and she was really nice, right? So basically what she asked for was a red smoky eye. Okay, that was normal, right? But at the beginning what she wanted was a blue and red smoky eye. Yeah, okay, you heard me. Blue and red smoky eye, right? So that is, I never ever judge what people want. If people want that, I will guide them in the way to what I think will look nice on them. If people want to go out with a grey smoky eye, or like green all over the eyes, just because you don't like that doesn't mean that you need to tell someone that what they can and can't do. So what I tried to explain, because she didn't have a photo of what she wanted, I just think because she was wearing red and blue that she wanted to like do her makeup to kind of match her top. that she was wearing. So I just advised her, I was like, what we could do, instead of doing blue and red, blue and red on top of the eyes, I said to her, why don't we do a red smoky eye on top and then a blue underneath the eyes, if you really want to do a blue and red smoky eye. And she said, yeah, that is no problem, that sounds really good to me. So I showed her photos of what I think that would look really nice with. So I said to her, I was like, now I'm just going to pre-warn you that this red is not going to stay red, because the red that she wanted was like a true red. And if you've ever worked with red eyeshadows before in your life, you know that when you blend out a red eyeshadow, it always goes like a kind of a hot pink, like a fuchsia kind of hot pink, unless you were stamping the colour down. Or if, like, say if the red is all over the eye, yes, you could get like a really rich red, but when you want it to be the blending colour, it won't ever go to that super red colour that you want. So yeah, so I explained that to her and she's like, oh no, it's fine, as much as you can, right? So I was kind of taking my time with it. So she wanted like really full coverage, full glam, cut creases, like the whole shebang. And I was like, yeah, that's no problem, that's what you asked for. So yeah, so I started to do her makeup, right? And then she started asking could she look at it throughout it. I could tell by her that she's had her makeup done a lot of times and she just kind of wanted to make sure that I was going to the way she wanted it, which is perfectly fine. Like, I don't have a problem with people looking at their makeup before it's done. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. And then she was like, oh, like, that looks really nice, I really like it. And I was like, oh, don't worry, I was like, I'm still working on the red to go as red as it can be. So by the way, I am going to get to the gist of the story of all this. I just want to explain exactly what happened throughout the day. So yeah, so basically it was very difficult to get it to the red that I wanted it to do. So basically what I had to do was I had to like do like the line of the cut, blend it out, and then keep stamping on that red to get it as red as I could possibly get it. So yeah, that was grand. So I actually finished her makeup and I thought it actually looked really nice. And the girls were even saying to them that it looked lovely. So I was like, right, that's fine, right? And then as soon as she like properly seen herself, she started going like, don't know what the right word was. She was basically throwing a hissy fit because the red wasn't. She felt like when she put her outfit on, the red didn't match the red, which I already told her that it was not going to fully match, and she still wanted to go ahead with it. So I gave her as much of the red that I can, but I'm telling you, the red that she wanted, let me show. The red that she wanted was this red, okay? I'm not joking. This was like the stripe of one of her red and blue top that she wore. And the eyeshadow that I used was actually from the P. Louise at the time, and I remember. It's this red. So, sorry, the state of it, right? So see how red this is. When you blend out a colour this red, it never goes to that super pigmented red when you want to blend it. If you want to use it on the lid, then yeah. I tried to explain this to her, but she kept saying that she wanted a nude lid and she wanted the crease. She sees all these P. Louise models with these big huge eyes that are all like cutted and all this colour coming through the nude bit, and that's exactly what she wanted. So I gave her what she wanted. So the whole time that I was doing the other girl's makeup, I felt so uncomfortable because all I could hear was her giving out about that the makeup didn't suit it. And she kept it. Now, to be fair, I'm not giving out about this girl at all. Just only this bit, because she kept apologising. She was like, it's nothing to do with the makeup. I loved exactly how you did the makeup. It's just the colours don't go. And I said to her, I was like, if you want, I can take it off and I can do a different colour. And then she's like, oh no, it's fine, like I don't think we'll have enough time. I was like, well, let me see how long it'll take me to do all the other girls and then we can come back to it. So yeah, basically enough said from that conversation. The girl was actually, like, she actually was like quite a nice girl, that I thought at the time was actually quite a nice girl. Like, she wasn't like screaming at me. She was just making me feel a little bit uncomfortable by the way that she was going. I just think she didn't understand that the colour wasn't going to fully match, right? So basically, this isn't even the gist of the story, right? So then the next girl that I did, she was actually quite nice. She actually wanted something very simple, like something still stood out, but I can't really actually remember what exactly she got. So then there was two girls that really stood out in this story that really annoyed me, like really badly annoyed me. So that first girl I just told you about, she wasn't too bad. Now this girl, this is the one that really just was so disrespectful and just took the complete piss out of me. So this girl sat down in my seat, right, and she showed me a photo of this makeup look, and I, as you can tell if you go through my Instagram, I am very comfortable with colour, very comfortable with cut creasing, very comfortable with basically a lot of creative stuff. At the time, I wasn't actually as confident with doing natural makeup, so when they asked for full glam, I was like, oh yay, this is going to be very fun. So yeah, she showed me a photo of this image from, it was from a P. Louise look that one of the people that work over there did. So what it was a cream lid blended out, so it was a cut crease of a cream lid, and then when it blended out, it blended into a rainbow eye. So it was like all these like colours coming in, and I actually thought it was pretty cool, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But then I was like, oh shit, it's actually going to take ages to do this. But the girls had a lot of time, so it was like, it was completely fine, right? So that was all grand. She was actually a really nice girl when I was doing her makeup, right? You know when people say don't judge a book by its cover, I didn't judge her, and I actually thought she was lovely, but this all happened. So yeah, I finished doing her makeup, right, and me personally, I actually thought it looked really nice, and I'm not being biased, but I took my time doing all of it, and I actually really liked it, and I actually liked every single girl's makeup that I actually took a photo of, all their makeups, okay? And I actually uploaded one of them instantly after this all happened. After the appointment was done, I uploaded one of the photos I actually liked, right? So when I was on the last girl's makeup, everything was actually fine. Like, I kind of calmed down from when the first girl was making me feel a bit uncomfortable. I kind of like, she actually was really nice about the whole situation at the time. She just kept making me feel a little bit more comfortable, and I kept saying to her, I was like, don't worry, I was like, I'm not going to let you leave here feeling uncomfortable in your makeup. I was like, obviously I know how it feels to go out on the night out with not feeling good in yourself, and then you just don't have a good night in the whole end. So when I finished the whole makeup, I said to her, I was like, do you want me to fix your makeup? And then she's like, no, it's fine. I was like, no, honestly, sit down. I'll redo the whole top of the eye. We'll keep all your foundation on. And I kept being like, no, honestly, I don't mind. Sit down and I'll do it. And she's like, no, honestly, we actually don't even have enough time. I actually do really like it. No, I'm being really honest. Like, I've taken loads of pictures with it already, and I do really like it now. She's like, I just think I need to get used to the colours. And I was like, yeah, okay, that is no problem. Like, I can't physically force someone to sit down. Yeah, so I left, and that was fine, right? So this is another part of the story that I forgot to mention, that these girls were booked in for 2 days in a row. So these are the key points that I'm about to say now. That is the main reason of what happened, that had happened. So throughout the day, when I was like, as I'm very, like, I know a lot of people in Ibiza to help people out with saving money, right? So basically what that means is that I know a whole lot of PRs who can get yourselves like really cheap tickets into places instead of paying full price. So when I was speaking to the girls, I was like, I always do this to anyone that sits in my chair, like, who I want to help out with, like, saving a bit of money. But to be fair, I do it with anybody. Like, doesn't matter if, like, you're nice or not. I do it with literally everybody. And the reason for doing it so much is because if I help a PR with selling tickets, they'll always, like, be really nice, and they'll recommend me to people who they're out on the streets talking to all the time about makeup. So it kind of works both ways. So I'm always really nice to anyone that works doing PRing. So they were saying that they're paying like on the door when they get there, and I said to them, I was like, well, if you want, I actually know someone who can get you really cheap tickets. And they were like, oh my god, that'd be really lovely. And it was actually my roommate at the time who was a PR as well. So I gave her a call and I said, hey, just to let you know, I have 4 girls here looking for tickets. So she was like, oh, deadly, because she makes obviously commission off the tickets. So I think that's why the girls kind of started to warm up to me as well throughout the because they could see that I was like actually kind of helping them. Well, I thought they were warming up to me, but anyway, not right. So when I was texting my friends to bring down the tickets for them, so she was the one that actually brought me over in the first place. So when I rang her probably about like a half an hour before I was finished my appointment, I said to her that I should be finished soon enough. So she left and she brought the tickets for them, blah 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 blah, right? So then what happened was, this hotel that these girls were staying in was like quite strict. Like some hotels in Ibiza are very strict with allowing people to come in, especially even like people who are doing like hair or makeup. Some will even charge you. Like there's not many that will do it, but you have to have your passport on you all the time to prove who you are. So you have to sign in, sign out. I think it's to do with like fire reasons or something like that. So when I walked in, I had to sign. No, I didn't actually sign in. I actually just ended up walking in somehow. I don't know how I got away with it. I don't think the security guard was there at the time, right? So then when I walked out to go get the tickets, to walk back in to give them to the girls, I brought down all my makeup and everything, and I put it in the car, and I was going to walk back up, and then I could see the security guard was kind of staring at me like in a bit of a bad way. And I don't know if many people know this, but in Ibiza, PRing is illegal. I don't know if many of you actually do even know that. So it was a new law that came in, I don't know how long ago, but it was a good while ago. It was just to do with harassment. They just don't want people harassing people on the streets. Like people should be able to freely walk around the streets without being constant like haggled. Even though you still get haggled, and you still always will get haggles because people still ignore it, but yeah. It actually is illegal, and if you get caught in a hotel, they can actually call the guards on you, and the company that you work for can actually get fined of up to 20,000, no, up to 5,000, yeah, sorry, not 20, up to 5,000 euros. So yeah, when I went downstairs to go get the tickets for these girls, I started to notice that the bodyguard, no, the security guard was just looking at me a bit funny, but I was leaving the hotel, so there was nothing that he could actually do with it. So since I got back in the car, I was like, I'm not going to be able to get back in to see the girls. So I texted and I was like, here, I think there's going to be a bit of an issue with me trying to get back in. Because clearly I can't say to them, hey, I'm selling them tickets, because it's illegal and they could call the guards on you. So yeah, so basically I just told the girls, I was like, do you mind bringing down the money for the tickets, and then whatever's left for what you need to pay for me for today. So bear in mind, they've only paid me a deposit. So yeah, these girls have only paid me a deposit, which is in and around like 20% of whatever 20% of whatever I charge at the time, right? So basically I've been paid not a lot of money basically, okay? So then when the girls actually came downstairs, so bear in mind, obviously I had to pay my friend who brought me there. So I had to pay her 20 euro there and her 20 euro back, okay? So then when the girls were on their way out to come and collect the tickets, since they were prepared to go and pay on the door, they were going to go to a bank machine on the way there to go and pay to get into this place that they were going to. So since I said, do you want to get tickets off my friends, and in on the money that was meant to be for me and whatever the extra they had left, right? So then when they came downstairs, they were like, here, we're really sorry, but there's no bank machine in the hotel, so is it okay if we just pay you tomorrow? Because I know that we have you booked in for tomorrow morning. They were going to Ocean Beach next day, so I knew I was in with them early. And then me being way too trustworthy in people, I said, yes, that's no problem. I'll see you tomorrow, so I hope you enjoy yourselves. And I left the appointment quite happy. Like, I didn't have any issues at all. Later on that night, I wanted to just text in the group chat just saying, hey girls, just double confirming that you are booked in tomorrow for, it was very, very early. Like, I think it must have been probably about 9 AM, 8 AM, 9 AM. And 8 AM and 9 AM in Ibiza is basically waking up like 4 o'clock in the morning. Is very, very, very early, okay? So I wasn't getting any response, so I was like, right, there's nothing really I can do. They're obviously out having a good time. You're in Ibiza, you're gonna go crazy, you're not really gonna be on your phone that much. So yeah, that was fine, alright? And then randomly at about 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up just, I think I needed a toilet or something like that. So this is the day before that I was meant to be up really early to go to see them. And then I had a message from one of them, and the message said at 5 o'clock in the morning, I think it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, that the girl texted me saying, hey, can you come at this time? I think it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, like we planned. And I was like, we never planned to come at 9 o'clock in the morning. So from what I can remember, I'm nearly sure that I was only supposed to be 2 girls booked in for the next day, and then since the girls really liked their makeup the day before, they end up booking in, so all 4 of them booked in. So that's why I was coming a little bit earlier. So I tried to reply to see if they're possibly up in, and possibly they might be online and they might reply, right? So then I text back and I was like, I can't do that time, because I had plans after the makeup. I had to work somewhere else. I had another booking in, so I said I can't do that time. I was like, I need to do at the time that was given. I was like, what I can do is I can come an hour later to try and suit yourselves. So then when I just had to go back to sleep, and I just waited till the morning. So I woke up at the time that I was supposed to wake up at. So another thing I want to say is that the girls again lived half an hour from where they were staying, half an hour from where I lived. So I had to wake up. So the only problem that I kept thinking about was, right, I'm gonna leave it to the hour that I text them to say that I'm gonna come at that time, and then I'll leave. So I was like, I can't wait, I can't not go, because one, the girls have paid me a deposit, so I need to be there. And then my biggest fear was that them texting me saying oh yeah, we're awake, where are you? And then it would have taken me like at least a half an hour to get there, to near 40 minutes, and then that would have just messed up my whole day of appointments. So I knew I had to be there. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna chance it and then go over a little bit. I'm gonna go over because I know that they're gonna get their makeup done, and at least then I know that I'm in the hotel. So then when they do eventually text me, that I will be there. Because I don't know, I want to make sure that people are happy when with the service, like, because I told them I was going to be there at that time, so like, what can I do? And anyway, they were going to be ready for 11, but I knew that if I started at 11 I wouldn't have been able to do all of them. So I tried to get there for I think it was 10 or something like that. I'm not going properly into details because I can't fully remember, because again, like I said, nearly 2 years ago this was, right? So this is where the whole gist of the whole story, right? So when you're driving through Ibiza from one side to the other, you go through all these like tunnels, okay? So you don't have any internet. Your signal goes, and then it takes a few minutes for it to come back on, and then as soon as it comes back on, you go through the tunnel again, so you have no service, okay? So when I'm in the car with my friend, who I have to still pay to get over there to, I get a message from one of the girls by being like, hey, we don't want our makeup done anymore, it's okay, thanks so much for everything, that's like, we don't want it done. And then I was kind of like, I tried to ring them, and then they weren't answering, none of them were answering their phones. So then I just said, can you give me a call? And then they aren't obviously giving me a call. So then I texted them, I was like, here, I'm basically around the corner. I was like, okay, if you want to cancel that, it's completely fine, that is so understandable, but you're gonna have to still pay for my travel fee to here, and then for the makeup that you owed me from the day before, plus that travel fee. So they owed me 2 lots of travel fee. So the girl was actually quite nice. She was like, yeah, of course, babe, yeah, we'll look after you, don't worry, we will. We'll all transfer you through PayPal, blah blah blah. And I was like, right, that's fine. It was very annoying, the fact that I was up and I was literally over there, but I was like, right, they're still gonna pay me, so I'm not really at loss. I think he's know where this story's about to go. I started to text them. I was like, I didn't want to be hounding them for the money, because I knew that they were going to Ocean Beach, and Ocean Beach is a day pool party, so I knew they were all going to be basically getting drunk during the day. So I kind of left them. So I just texted them, and I was like, girls, here's my PayPal anyway, so just let me know when it's sent, so then I can just leave it at that. So, like, you know when you just get like a really bad vibe? I was like, you know, you just get that feeling, you're just like, I was just kind of a bit worried. I was even saying to Luke, I was like, I don't really know what to really kind of do here. I have a feeling that they're probably just not going to pay me. And was I fucking right? So basically what happened was I started to kind of get a bit annoyed the next morning, because I was like, they haven't even tried to contact me. They've just like literally just completely blanked my messages. Like, they've seen them, they didn't say anything. So I went and creeped on the girls' pages, right? So listen to this. So when I creeped on the girls' pages, I seen that one of the girls had her makeup done. Like, it wasn't just like, I know some people can be very good at their makeup, but I was like, she did not do that. Because I started looking at her old photos, I was like, she is not, it was a makeup artist that did her makeup, right? And I was like, I know for a fact that she did not do that makeup. So then she tagged the makeup artist. So let me just explain exactly what just happened. This girl obviously booked in this random makeup artist to do her makeup, knowing well she had me booked in, didn't explain to me that she didn't want me to do her makeup that day, which is perfectly fine. If she didn't want me to do her makeup, that is so completely fine. But you could have at least told me. The decency in that situation is that they could have just at least messaged and said, hey, we don't need our makeup done anymore, that's fine. So that girl obviously knew the whole time when she went out on that night out that she was not going to get her makeup done off me, because nobody is going to be able to come. She must have got her makeup done, it must have been way before 12 o'clock. No one's just going to randomly come. So she clearly had the makeup artist booked. And that's what really annoyed me. I was like, you clearly had that makeup artist booked and you couldn't even just tell me that, oh, it's okay, like I don't want makeup done anymore. So that really, really pissed me off, right? So I texted into the group chat again saying, hi girls, just making sure, even though I was really pissed off about the whole situation, I was like, hi girls, just making sure, just seeing, because I just haven't been sent the money yet. I was just wondering if you could still send it over. Okay, so this is when I got wound up, like really wound up, okay? So, remember the girl that I told you, that the one that was like, this is like, she was the main issue? So, the message that I got sent back was, basically, long story cut short, because I can't remember word for word what happened, but they basically said that, why should we pay you? And I can quote actually this little bit. It's like going to the barbers and asking for, it's like going to the hairdressers and asking for a trim and you're getting a short back inside. Which meant that basically they asked for something that they wanted for their makeup and they didn't get it, and that basically that they're not going to pay me because I didn't give them what they wanted. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, right? So obviously I need to stay professional as much as I can, because you know how this day and age, everyone, if you say one little thing out of content, they blow it up, they can share in their story, they can just like make a mock of you. So I was so professional about it. I was stern, but I was professional. So the route that I went down was basically doing a sob, no, I wouldn't say a sob story. I went for the like feeling bad story, if you know what I mean. So basically what I said, I was like, girls, if you weren't happy with your makeup at the beginning, you should have told me. I'd asked you millions of times if you wanted something different. I would have done that for you, no problem. And I was like, come on, you could see that I spent, it must have been about 5 hours that I did their makeup for. I was like, you can see that I am a business by myself. I would really appreciate if you could just send me the money that I'm owed. It's only my first year doing makeup out here. I was like, I just really appreciate if you could do it. Obviously I didn't hear back. So I said to them, I texted them again and I was like, hey, I know that you are probably upset with what happened. I would just really appreciate if you girls could send me this money. And again, I'm still being so polite, so nice to them. Didn't once raise my voice, didn't get angry at all, and nothing that happened again. So I text them again and I go, hey girls, I've had no choice, but I've had to report this to the police. So I went to the police station, and if anyone knows, it's very hard to communicate with a police officer when you don't speak the language, and they don't really have much time for foreigners, basically. Like, they kind of just wave you off. They're not very polite kind of people. But yeah, so they reported it. I kind of got my story across, but I kind of knew that nothing was really going to happen from it. So when I said that, nothing happened, and yeah, that was basically the story. And right, so here's a little bonus part for you. Yeah, so here's a little bonus story. I never heard anything back from the police. So there was literally nothing I could do. That's it. Like, the money was gone, I was conned, I just had to just accept it. So, bonus story was, right, you're not even going to believe this. So I just thought them people were just completely out of my life, right? Apparently not. I get a message off one of the girls by saying to me, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I really apologise for what happened the time that you did my makeup. I actually did really love my makeup. It was the girls that were constantly telling me that it wasn't nice, that you shouldn't pay for that because you don't look the way you're supposed to look, and blah 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 blah. And I'm actually not friends with these girls anymore. I just want to apologise, and I'll pay you everything that I owe you. Yeah, have you got an appointment for in 2 weeks to get my makeup done? You having a laugh? Are you actually joking? The amount of, and this was the girl that I told you, the one that really pissed me off. The one that was like, yeah, well, you're the one that gave, and you asked for a trim and you get short back inside. This was this girl. I was like, some balls you have to text me saying that. So what I was planning on doing was, I wasn't obviously going to steal the woman's money because that's not what I'm about. So what I was going to do was, I was going to book her in. I was going to book her in, I was going to get her deposit, and then she said she was going to pay me back for the money that she owed me, which was for 1 day and partly of the travel fee. So that's what I was going to do, and then what I was going to do was cancel on her and then still return back her deposit, because obviously I'm not going to steal anybody's money. Like, that's just not what I'm about. I just wanted to get the money that I deserved and what I was owed. And then I said to her, I was like, I can't book you in until you have a deposit. And then she was like, oh, I'll just try. She's like, are you like, why? Like, she's basically trying to get away with not doing a deposit. She said, oh, I'm not getting paid till then. I was like, yeah, that's not a problem. I was like, just give me a message when you're paid, and then we can book you in. So obviously I didn't get a message from her. She must have booked him with somebody else, and I never heard anything again from the girls. Yeah, basically I blocked that negativity out of my life. I was completely done with it. So the moral of the story is, yes, partially it is my fault for trusting people. I should have got the money when I did, but that's just what happened. I just want to put this video out there just to let anyone know that is in anything to do with customer service, like whether it's hairdressing, barbering, nails, makeup, anything, just always get paid before you leave the client, because look at me, I was down a lot of money. The moral of the story is, don't ever let your clients leave your site until they pay. It would probably be a good idea for you to share this story with somebody else. I just don't want this to ever happen to anybody else, because I was down a whole lot of money. It set me back a good amount, and yeah, just an absolute disaster of a story. Yeah, so I appreciate if you could tell people about this story, and yeah, follow me over my Instagram, and make sure you like this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.